Above their heads, stealing for all to see. El Cachorro, El Cachorro. There's a dawn superheroes here today for you and me. El Cachorro, El Cachorro.
Welcome, El Cachorro fans, to another Monarch Legacy of Monsters episode breakdown. Now we're looking at episode 3, which came out the day before Thanksgiving. Sorry, I'm a little late getting to cover it because of the holiday. But we have another really good one to talk about. Some really cool stuff that happens in this one, as well as, another good story-driven episode. So let's go over some... Or basic, just, before we get to the spoiler stuff, I might go up a little higher than I have been. I think I've been doing 8s the first two, so I might go maybe 8.5 on this one, just because we get a cool big G part of this. He's makes another appearance again. So I'll give that. We get, a couple of monsters, which I was looking up some stuff on IMDb. And I see a lot of people. The world we live in is crazy. So people are giving this 1s and 2s because it's not enough monster action. It's not supposed to be a monster show. It's a Monarch show. It's about the organization. It just takes place in their universe. It was never supposed to be a Godzilla show. It was never advertised as a Godzilla show. I mean, I get it if you don't like the story stuff and the show's not for you, but there's no way in hell this show's a 1 or a 2. That's the problem we live in this world we have, is if you don't like something, it's automatically, 1, it's trash, it's the worst thing ever. A 1 is something that's completely unwatchable, something that has, people off the street trying to act in it, has bad cutting, bad edits, bad CGI. It would be something that is completely ill-watchable. Period. Crap, like Noah's Shark, which I might review on my shark thing, is going to be somewhere in that neighborhood. Or what was the dinosaur thing I tried to watch once on Amazon Prime. It was like Pimps and Dinosaurs or something like that, where the dinosaurs were claymation or something like that. That goes under 1 to 3. Anywhere from a 1 to a 3. You don't like the show, okay, a 3, a 4, 5 maybe. 5 is about average. 5, 6 is the average category. Just because you don't like a show doesn't make it a 1. People learn how to freaking rate stuff, okay? There's my rant, okay? I'm tired of this stupid world we live in. I don't think it's a 1. Come to Kentucky. Now, as I was saying, solid story-driven. We have the 2 storylines going on back and forth. The one back in the 50s and the one in the 2015 range. So we keep that back and forth going, which I can understand that being tough for people because you gotta keep up with 2 stories. And when I break down the stuff, I might say some stuff out of order. I'll try and keep it as close as I can. I got some pictures to try and help me keep on apart, but we'll get the gist of everything. So it's a really good stuff. I like the story stuff that we got on. I am kind of puzzled on this Monarch's trying to hunt these kids down thing, because Monarch is not an evil organization at this point. I mean, Dr. Serizawa, who's even referenced in this episode, is like one of the top guys, pretty much like maybe their top guy. And they're secretive, but I mean, technically, well, what we know is that they wanted the tapes. They just tried to get the tapes from them, so they haven't really threatened to do anything to the kids. But it just kind of doesn't fit the Monarch, what Monarch should be at the time. So there is a hint that there is something else going on with that. But so we got their current stuff. Then we got the story going back in time for how Monarch was funded and getting that going together. And I really find the stories lines on those interesting. So I'm having a good time. I'm totally enjoying the show. So yeah, I'm going to go 8.5 just because we did get you get a couple. Like I said, they just sprinkle in. You get maybe like a monster scene for each storyline. So just to keep the story base going there. So I think for the most part we've done that. First episode, you had Godzilla and the insects. Second episode, you just have the bat thing. I don't. Yeah, we didn't. Well, we had like the Godzilla's tease thing, but nothing else. So there was only one in that one. So let's get going. So we open right where we left off with them breaking Kurt Russell out of his retirement home prison. Starts off with them pretty much watching through the surveillance camera for the show. You're seeing it through the surveillance cameras, and they're noticing the Monarch's already known that he's cut off his tracker and he's everything like that. But I guess the people haven't been alerted that are there yet. So they worked their way. So the family's kind of like we still have. One thing I do also don't get is her motivation. I mean, I guess it's Monarch came after her. She just wants out of everything. But she was the one that was kind of wanting to find out what was going on with her father to begin with, but now she wants nothing to do with it. He's all about trying to figure it out. And we start off with she's kind of still. She at this point she's still curious, but we're gonna have a weird scene with her coming up. So they decide to go to a the van because he finds out knows they have the van. So we get a cool little thing where I guess shows that he's been there for long. So he gets in the van, he says, "Let me drive." So he's trying to start the van, and it's a push button, so he didn't know how. He's not familiar with push buttons. But a nice little van scene where they're trying to escape, and they're yelling about his driving. He's like, "Haha, you never rode with your grandma," because obviously we've seen that in the first episode where she's driving the Jeep. So they were able to escape and bust out and escape. Then we jump back in time to 1952, 54. It's supposed to be two. They said it's 2 years after the Philippines incident, and they're all waiting outside for this bunch of cars that are pulling up. So obviously they've kind of started doing their little monster club thing. So they're talking about how they need funding from the U.S. military. So they bring the general that we saw earlier in the other episode in, and they show him an impression they made of a giant footprint, which I would assume is probably where this picture was probably taken from that we saw in the other episode. But they made a giant impression of the footprint. They're showing it to him, showing that they'll try and get funding and backing, and pretty much they need a bunch of uranium because they believe that's what they feed on, and it will lower him out. So they want to use uranium so they can lower him out so they can see, find and get proof of his existence. And so then we find out the general agrees with it. So they got so they're going to do their experiment. Cut back to our modern times, and they're on a boat. They've escaped Japan onto a cruise boat, and we open up with her having a phone call with someone, and it's being very conspicuous by a guy like that, and she throws her phone in the water because being tracked and stuff. He kind of questioned her about it, and she gets all mad at him, like, "You drug me into all this." Like, no, now you're all upset about it. Okay. They didn't know that was where I was going to go either. So he's talking about there's a plan, and convinces them that they need to dump the tapes because they can't be caught with the tapes because that will automatically, get them. Any nosy border guard's gonna get onto them then. So they're going to Korea because he knows because Kurt Russell's character has a friend in Korea that will help them get to Alaska because they're trying to get to Alaska to find out if they're finding their father to see if he's alive or dead. Then we go straight to where they're going in the passport office, and we have a little scene there. Obviously, they don't have their passports. Well, 3 of them, she kind of does. But where it looks like they're going out and then they don't have their passports, and they're getting taken out by guards, that they're going to get arrested and stuff like that. And we find out one of the guards is his buddy and helps them escape. From there, either get this scene or there's another throwaway scene. Well, I think we get this scene. So we show up. We're at Bikini Atoll, famous site of a nuclear bomb test, and they have a nuclear bomb. And you see it. We have a guy planning a monster thing on there, and well, they didn't ask for a bomb. They asked just for uranium, so they're shocked to see it was a bomb because they know there's something still going on. And the general's pretty much saying that we got to take him out. We got to kill we got to destroy him while we can. If he's an enemy, we got this is what you wanted. You asked for our help. This is how we're going to do it. So the military's kind of turned on him a little bit and planning to kill Godzilla. So pretty much saying, hey, you got to go with it. So they're now kind of their plans the military kind of turned on them. So they're planning setting up a trap for Godzilla. Then we get a scene with the two Monarch agents that are chasing the kids, and another plane lands, and a scientist who I was trying to place, but I couldn't. So I'm not sure if she was someone or not. So I was trying to wonder if we were going to get some cameos from any of the other movies or something like that. And she reminded me of the chick that was with Sarazawa, but she totally was not her. So I'm not quite sure who she's supposed to be. But she pretty much gets on the one dude for doing his little rogue mission. And see, I gotta learn character names here. Tim, I guess. Tim and Duval, who are doing their little mission, and she says you weren't sanctioned to do this operation. You went rogue. It was ordering them on the plane to go home. And while they're kind of having that chat, it's like, "Why are you doing this for Monarch? Why didn't you bring this to..." That's where we get the Sarazawa now. Like, why didn't you bring this to Sarazawa if it's so important? And she's like, "Are you doing this for us, or are you doing this for your own side?" So he's got some kind of second agenda thing that he believes in. And meanwhile, the French agent gets a call saying that's they were spotted in South Korea and they escaped the customs. So she tells she says we'll take resources, go track them down and get them. And the French security guard or Lee Shaw track them down. And the French chick says, "Well, I need him with me. He's my partner." So I guess she stands up to keep him with her. From there we go back to Bikini Atoll. They're all waiting for, they're just sitting around. Everybody's sitting around waiting in chairs and stuff with their special shades on for the monster to show up. And they're starting to give up. Like, if he don't show up, we're gonna lose their backing. And there's the kind of question: do they want the backing? And then finally, they start getting radar interference and sonar hits, and Big G makes his appearance. So you see him cut through the water with his spikes, and he gets there to the bomb. And our what's her name? Our doctor Mira tries to make a run for the sty and disconnect the I guess the antenna that was sending the signal to blow up the bomb, and she has to get tackled by Lee Shaw to stop him. She don't believe, she wants to study it and doesn't want to know how it existed without being solid, but they don't. But then the bomb goes off. Really, really cool. So we get this really cool scene. So they believe they've killed Godzilla. So he's good. I know he's in at least another scene in the show. So I've seen from the trailer. So I know he's not done for the show yet. So we see where it's changed from 2014 where we kind of had the footage of the Bikini Atoll bombing where it was like the spikes and they dropped the bomb on him. So they changed that from that scene there up to this. I'm okay with it. This scene works really good. It was much better. I mean, the 2014 was just trying to keep you from seeing Godzilla. So I'm cool with it. Then we cut back to our kids. They're on the plane. and we have some breakdown moments. And well, actually, I think I did miss a scene because I think there's been 2 scenes on the plane. So they're on the plane trying to, and they're asking Lee Shaw about their parent. Actually, this one's probably right here because it leads to the next scene. So asking about their dad and stuff like that, and he goes, "Hey, he was a good kid. He was always done this because he never lied to me." He's like, "Huh." He's like, Secrets aren't lies. A secret and a lie is different." Which we're gonna get that line again in here in a minute. So they use some tracking information to find out where the path he was on, and they're able to come up with a flight plan to go locate him. Oh, I guess I forgot to mention that part. So after they escaped the past the customs, the guy that helped them out took them to a vintage. It was like an old vintage plane, and they escaped on the plane. So so this is a plane. So on the plane, they were able to find come up with coordinates to where to go. And so then I think we must get the scene. Like I said, it's hard to keep track of the scenes. We go back to the doctor's in a dark room, all sad because obviously they found a Titan and he was destroyed. And then Bill Randa comes in to comfort her and says, "But he had the right. He should have stopped. If he didn't stop you, he would have been arrested, deported, and all that stuff. He did what he had to do. He was protecting you." And then Lee Shaw comes in saying that, "Hey, I thought we were going down with the ship, so I thought I'd ask for the moon." So he said, "I asked for all this funding, all this, and that, and I was denied. The general said I didn't ask for enough. He gave us a blank check." So pretty much saying that the government has funded Monarch and has given them pretty much unlimited resources to find more of these things. Which she's like, "Well, do we have?" So that's where we get the whole, do we have to tell the general what we find? And he's like, "Well, I can't lie to the general." I was like, "Oh, that's a court martial." And she goes, "Secrets and lies are not the same thing." So that's where he got the line from, was from her. So they make a plan because it's like, well, I can only tell the general what you tell me, and I trust that you're going to tell me what I need to know. So pretty much saying, "Hey, when you don't tell me, I don't tell them." But I guess I was saying, if it's the threat and I need to know, then you need to tell me about it. So that's how the government. I guess that's how Monarch starts doing its operating and secret stuff. All right. So from there, we're gonna jump back to our plane people, and they start encountering some kind of turbulence, and all the things go out, and then Lee Shaw has to take over the plane and land it. He pulls off this nice, remarkable landing, and they quickly find the wreckage of the dad's plane with a dead body inside, but it wasn't him. Then somebody else also finds that there's a whole tent set up next to the plane. So they find there was a tent that was been set up and someone's been working there, and they find the stuff that indicated it was their father, so they know he's still alive. Meanwhile, the custom guy that helped him out is like checking the wreckage. He finds the cord that shows where the plane was anchored. So you see, wait a minute, this plane landed. It didn't wreck. And as he checks the plane more, he finds the plane has scratch marks in it where something attacked it. So he starts freaking out and yelling, "We got to get out of here! We got to get out of here!" So everybody starts coming out and running for the plane. And then something starts breaking out of the ice. And we get another Titan. So it's like a four-legged, kind of scaly thing with a tentacle face. So as he's already trying to take off in the plane, and it starts attacking the plane, and we find that these things here kind of glow, and it starts shooting out a freeze breath, and it like totally freezes the plane and the guy that was trying to fly the plane, freezes them to death, then turns and faces our heroes and fade to black. Because they like cliffhanger endings here with the monsters. Cool. So it's definitely cool design. So a little four-legged thing. He's got the weird Cthulhu-like face, tentacle face thing. So pretty cool, unique design. They're not really huge, so it's more, I guess, typical skull crawler size. Before like the big skull crawler. So I'd say about mid-sized Titan. So yeah, so we have a nice, so we get a couple. So the Godzilla scene was pretty badass, and then this guy was pretty sweet too. So yeah, so another good story-driven episode, and give us sprinkle in a little monster action when you need it. You can't have monsters in the whole thing. This thing would cost $1 billion, people. To design CGI do the good CGI for the monsters and all of it. So you get what you got, and I think it worked well. Enjoyed the scenes, enjoyed the storyboarding. I'm not sure what we're going to do with the stuff in the past, because I guess we'd have to kind of jump up to find out what happens to the Dr. Mira. Because we know in 1959, we saw her like get grabbed by all the insects and fall into the darkness. And we know Bill Randa's character. Well, we know that's the John Goodman character from Skull Island, so we know that's where he dies. And he's got 10 episodes credits, so I mean, I guess he's in the flashbacks. 10. General's got a few more. The mom's gonna come back up, we know. He's only in 5 episodes, though. And she's only in 4 episodes, so that would mean she's only got 1 episode left. And he's got 2. But he's got 10. So we're gonna definitely get more flashbacks with him, but their storyline's almost wrapped up. And obviously, well, she's got a couple episodes because she doesn't show up in any of these. And is this the chick that's with him? Well, I mean, that would make her done. Alright, did I get the Tim right? Is Tim the one guy? Yeah, I don't know if these credits are right, because I would say he's done too. So this can't be right. Some of this must be off. So I would say his part's done, but we know that's not done. I'd say her part's done. I don't know if you can trust this. So I don't know if you can trust IMDb. That seems to be off. Because I would say her story's done. So I don't know where they're going. Because I was starting to think she was one of the set of twins that was related to the Doctors and King of the Monsters. But so far, I've not been released that there's a twin. I'm thinking the dad, though, this whole dad with 2 kids. I wonder if he might be a twin, and that he's just been his brother died, and he's taking care of his. But that won't really work because then that means that they have 2. That means these 2 would have another family member that they don't know about. So we can find that out. What was the chick's name in King of Monsters? Ooh, what was the doctor's name? Yeah, no, okay, she was something. She definitely had a different name. Dr. Eileen Chin, so that was definitely not her. Her name was. So I thought that's who she was supposed. That one was supposed to be, but no, that's her name was Graham. All right, so yeah, so we have no real returning characters from anything here. So nope. Although I'm pretty sure the Admiral or General, I believe he was in Skull Island too, wasn't he? Did he play the General in Skull Island? Here we at 2018. Maybe not. I know it was like something with two characters. Nope. One of them would have came out after this. Nope, guess not. So like, there's nobody in here that's been in anything else. I think you thought they would like try and do some cameos. So I remember John Goodman's character interacting with somebody at the beginning of that movie for some kind of funding. I was wondering if it was the same, or maybe it's a different actor playing that same character. Who knows? All right, I'll have to go watch that again, see if, what I learned from it. But yeah, another good episode. So I guess our next episode we have. So I guess we have to do. Well, they're stuck with by this creature, so we have to have them face it off with this thing some more. And then get more searching for the father. Maybe I don't know if we'll get the father in this episode or not. And then I have no idea where the past storyline is going to go. We start in 59. Then we jump back to their first meeting of where everybody first met each other. Now they start. This is where they first got their Monarch funding. It's really they got a blank check, and then 7 years later they're driving in some rinky-dinky van going to a site. So I don't know where that. I don't know where our past storyline is going to go from there. So that's because that one tells. So that was pretty much always a set and a beginning and an end of for that episode, except for like the one obviously we know the doctor chick that felt just snatched by the insects. We don't know how that technically ended. So that was the cliffhanger for that episode. But second one ended with them finding the bat, but obviously that wasn't a big deal. They hid in the footprint, obviously. And then that one, didn't have. So that story kind of wrapped up right there. And then this story wrapped up with them getting the funding. So I don't know where that there's no clear indication where that storyline is going to go next. But obviously with these guys, we gotta. The 2015 storyline seems to always continue on from where it leaves off. So definitely interested to see where that goes. And I know at some point we go to a desert because I know there's a trailer scene with Godzilla in a desert. So I don't know if that's going to be present day or past tense. But we do know there's at least one more Godzilla thing in it. I don't know if we got any Kong. I don't know if there's anything with Kong, though. Skull Island was in the first episode, but Kong really wasn't. But yeah, there we go. I'll wrap this up. I kind of rambled a little more at the end there. So, join me next time. So we got a busy weekend next weekend. So we'll have episode 4 as well as Godzilla -1. I have Thursday tickets and probably I'm working on, which I apparently going to by myself with. And then I have Friday tickets, or we're working on getting Friday tickets with family. Saturday would be my birthday, so I don't know if I'll be able to see it again Saturday or not. Sunday fun. I don't know. I plan to see it a lot. I know that much. I have to figure out how I'm going to work it in. But so wait for those, and until next time, Cachorro out.